And if you ever screw up, you don't got to worry about me. You ever hurt my daughter, you don't got to worry about me. I got one word for you if you ever do anything to hurt my daughter. And it's not Jesus. It's Alec. I said, Google Alec Baldwin upset.
Here's the thing. The world has watched Justin and Hailey Bieber long enough to sense when something feels off. Lately, their marriage has shifted into this strange, quiet tension. Not explosive, not chaotic, just disconnected. The smiles look tight. The chemistry looks flat. And every time Hailey steps out to reassure the world that everything is fine, it only becomes more clear that she's the one holding the marriage together, while Justin stands beside her looking emotionally distant, drained, or somewhere far away in his own head. No matter how carefully the couple tries to maintain a united front, the energy around them tells a different story. Justin Bieber seems emotionally out of the marriage, and Hailey is fighting to hold together a life he no longer feels fully present in. A lot of this heat started after Globe magazine dropped a report claiming Hailey had turned to her father, Stephen Baldwin, during a rough period in her marriage. IB Times UK summarized the claims but stressed that none of it had been confirmed by Justin or Hailey. Still, the reason the story stuck is because it reflected exactly what fans have been seeing. According to the report, Stephen became a guiding light as Justin spiraled into emotional overwhelm after the birth of their son, Jack Blues, in August 2024. Sources claimed Justin felt frightened and unprepared for fatherhood, not in the normal new dad way, but in a deeper emotional collapse. Instead of rising to the moment, he allegedly retreated. Instead of anchoring his family, he drifted. The report says the tension between them became so heavy that Hailey leaned on her father, not out of convenience, but out of emotional necessity. Baldwin, they claimed, offered them stability Justin couldn't provide, spiritually, emotionally, and practically. Now, whether every detail is true or not, that dynamic lines up with everything we've been seeing publicly. Justin has always been sensitive, emotional, and complicated. He's admitted that fame damaged his ability to feel grounded. But fatherhood asked him to be steady in a way he might not be ready for. Hailey, meanwhile, stepped into motherhood with full force. She became protective, routine-oriented, focused, but her new stability clashed with Justin's old instability, and the emotional gap between them widened. According to the reports, Justin shut down under the pressure, and Hailey, instead of receiving support, became the one giving support, holding the house together, managing the baby, and trying to manage Justin's emotional distance at the same time. Her GQ interview only made that more obvious. She talked about taking it a day at a time, about being protective of their son, about navigating public scrutiny. But the emotional absence behind her words was loud. She didn't...
You and Justin are obviously, very famous and have been under a lot of scrutiny for a long time in the public eye. And now that you have a son, how do you balance as a family, the sort of public thing and the private thing? How do you sort of think about that?
I think we're just taking it a day at a time. I think we both feel very protective of our son, and I don't think that's ever going to change. But our life is our life, and it is really public. So I think we're just going to cross every bridge that we need to when we get there. I feel really comfortable about the way we are sharing things and not sharing things.
She didn't describe a marriage filled with connection. She described a marriage she's trying to stabilize. She didn't speak about Justin as a partner helping her through the chaos. She spoke like someone carrying the weight alone. She sounded calm, but it was the kind of calm people use to soften the truth. When she said she felt comfortable with what we share publicly, it landed like a quiet attempt to convince herself more than anyone else. And Justin didn't echo anything. He didn't reassure the public. He didn't speak about the marriage. He didn't even counter the rumors. Silence isn't neutral, especially not in a marriage this public. Silence is distance. Silence is absence. Another layer of tension came from Stephen Baldwin's public prayer post last year. When he asked the world to pray for Justin and Hailey, fans instantly suspected something was wrong. According to reports, Hailey was upset, not because nothing was happening, but because the issues weren't supposed to be aired that way. That reaction shows exactly how fragile things were. And again, it shows the imbalance. Her father was stepping in because Justin wasn't emotionally steady enough to be her support system. Hailey was leaning on someone outside the marriage for grounding. Justin wasn't fulfilling the emotional role he should have been. And the fact that the prayer request sparked such a huge reaction only highlights how tuned in people are to their dynamic. You don't need perfect insider information to recognize when a couple is drifting. The reports also suggested the couple sought therapy to help navigate the strain of becoming new parents. Therapy in itself isn't a sign of failure. It's responsible, but the way the rumors framed it made the situation feel uneven. The therapy wasn't about them adjusting as a team. It was Hailey trying to pull Justin back into the marriage emotionally, trying to get him to re-engage, trying to get him to show up in ways he hadn't been. And the whispers about Stephen Baldwin's spiritual influence, again unverified but widely repeated, add another layer. Hailey wasn't just looking for emotional support, she was looking for emotional direction, because she wasn't getting it from Justin. What this really means becomes clearer the more you look at their public behavior. Hailey is always the one explaining, the one clarifying, the one smoothing things over, the one maintaining the image, the one holding the public line. Justin stands there, but he's not with her. He's beside her physically and nowhere near her emotionally. That's not partnership, that's imbalance. And the emotional gap has grown so obvious that even casual fans notice it. Hailey reaches for connection. Justin stares forward with the muted expression of someone who feels trapped in his own life. When you're emotionally checked out, your body may show up, but your heart doesn't. The most painful part of all this is how predictable it feels. Hailey has always been the glue. She stabilizes, she fixes, she covers, she protects the image, she holds the narrative. Justin, meanwhile, drifts between emotional highs and lows. So now, with a child in the picture, Hailey's instinct to keep the family together has only intensified, but the marriage itself looks like it's operating on one person's energy. She wants more kids someday. She wants a grounded home. She wants a partner she can lean on. Justin, on the other hand, looks overwhelmed by the responsibilities he already has. Not because he doesn't love them, but because he doesn't know how to carry them without breaking. Right now, the marriage looks like someone swimming and someone floating. Hailey is fighting with both hands. Justin is drifting with neither. She's present. He's absent. She's pushing forward. He's stuck. And the sad truth is that she feels it. She feels the weight of carrying the emotional load alone. She feels the pressure of keeping the public from seeing the cracks. She feels the silence, the distance, the loneliness of being married to someone who isn't showing up. And Justin? His silence tells its own story. He looks like a man who loves his family, but doesn't know how to be fully part of it. A man emotionally stuck between who he was and who he's supposed to be. Their marriage isn't crumbling because of drama. It's drifting because the emotional labor isn't equal. Hailey is fighting for something that Justin doesn't seem emotionally available to fight for right now. And unless they figure out how to close that emotional gap, the distance will only get harder to ignore. If you stayed with me to the end, you already understand the bigger picture here. This isn't a loud breakup. It's a quiet emotional unraveling. And trust me, more layers of this story are coming. Hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment so you don't miss the next breakdown.